All right, let's get into our Tarantino movie tier list here. Okay, so let's set some rules. Let's just set some
Okay.
ground rules. We have 9 movies. That's how many he has. If you,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you count Kill Bill Part 1 and Part 2 as 2 different movies, which they are,
I don't know
technically.
why I
So,
thought there were more.
well, he wants to do 10.
Yeah.
And the movie critic got canceled, from my understanding, and he's not doing that one anymore. So now he's got to come up with a different one. But
Okie
yeah, he wants
dokie.
to do 10 total. Which I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out in 2018, so it's been a
Yeah, it's
while.
been a
And
minute.
with him kind of scratching the movie critic, I think it's called, with him getting rid of that. I don't know. We might not get it till like 2030. I don't know when his last movie will come out, but
Hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, so there's 9 movies. I don't know if we want to set like a threshold for how many S
I
tiers we
think
can do
I
because
think
you
we
can put a
have
lot in
to.
there.
I think we
Okay,
gotta go.
2,
I was gonna say 3, but that's a third of the
3.
movies.
Right. I
2.
think 2 was our limit.
2 seems fair.
And it'll probably be there'll probably be a lot in A if you're watching on YouTube. We will explain it though. S tier is the best, then there's A, and then it goes all the way down to D.
Yeah,
I
go
doubt we
ahead
put
and
anything there, but
I was gonna say go ahead and delete C for
D.
me if you can.
Oh,
Uh,
C. I'll
or
delete it.
yeah. Okay. All right.
Is
So our
that messing with you?
alphabet.
Here, we'll make it C.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Does that
If you're
work?
on
Yep.
YouTube,
Okay.
you're getting additional content. So we've only got 4 columns if you're listening. S is
Right.
the best, A, and then A, B, and C.
Yeah.
There's just not enough movies here to have anything else.
Yeah, and I think so far we've only reviewed Reservoir Dogs. I want to say I don't think we've done anything else yet.
I think I just ordered actually that. I just ordered a ton of. I'm in a little 4K Blu-ray phase where
Okay.
I'm buying movies. I don't know why.
You getting the
I
digital
shouldn't
code
be.
too?
So I'm having the physical disc that way I can have it physically, look at
Mm-hmm.
it, feel good about myself, waste money. But I also have the digital code that way I have it on Movies Anywhere or Fandango or whatever they partner with. Most of these are Movies Anywhere, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
Reservoir Dogs was one of the movies that I purchased.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was 4K Blu-ray from Target
Yeah, I think
for
I have that on my movies as
$16.
well.
Yeah, Dark Knight trilogy as well,
Oh,
4K,
nice.
$35.
Really?
Yeah, but anyway, to the
To
off
the tier list.
topic. Yeah, to the tier list.
All right, so we're not going to start with that. I'm going to put that right next to each other.
Okay,
All right, so first we have Death Proof. Have you seen this?
that's the only one I haven't seen.
Okay. Now I have seen this, but
Okay,
this is the only movie on here that I think I've only seen once.
okay, so that's the only
Um,
movie I haven't seen on this list. So I have to
yes.
abstain from this vote.
Yeah, so I think by most people, they agree that this might be his weakest of his
That's probably
movies.
why I haven't seen it.
It's still good though, but that's why we have the C column. So I think what I'll do is I'll put it in C because we have to put something there, right?
That's
So
the only one I don't think I need to argue with you with.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so and now we get right into it. We
All
have
right.
Django Unchained.
One of my favorites, I think.
Yeah.
Where do you fall?
Well,
Are we?
like in my head, I'm trying to think what I'm putting in S, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have two, and our two are not the same. I think so. Um, I for me,
I would be
Django's not
okay
one of
with
them.
Django. I would be comfortable putting that in A because I
Okay,
don't think it's. If I can only pick 2 for
right,
favorite,
right.
that's not one of them. But it's
Do
a
you
great
think,
movie.
looking at this list, do you think that one's probably the one you've seen like the most? Um,
No, the movie that I've seen the most is actually Reservoir Dogs.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, just to
Yeah, I
spoil it.
think I mean, I think I've seen like probably Pulp Fiction the most, Reservoir Dogs, Django, and then like Inglorious. I think those are like the four I've seen probably the most. I've seen them all multiple times, but
Okay.
I don't know. Sometimes when I'm just sitting there and I want to watch like a Tarantino movie, those are like some of the ones I'll put on there.
Your
So
go-to.
yeah. All right. So I think we're in agreement. It's A, top
A.
A. It's gonna piss some
Agreed.
people off. That one's
Yeah.
gonna piss some people off.
Yeah. If we had 3 spots, I would have it in S tier, but we have to limit ourselves
Yeah.
to 2 to make things a little controversial.
Yeah. Okay. This one's fun. Hateful Eight.
So
So we have a story here. Go ahead. Of how we saw this
No.
movie.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay.
Tell
So
the story.
I don't know. Were you there
I think
for
so.
Nick Bell's birthday?
Maybe.
Okay. So we went.
Now I don't
His
know.
mom. Okay, I don't know if it was you or it could have been Brian, maybe, but his mom took us to a special screening of this where we saw the extended version, which I believe both are on Netflix or used to be. I think it's 3 hours 15. I want to say 3 hours and a half actually,
Mhm.
and there was an intermission. So
I was not there.
Okay, this is the first and only movie I've ever went to where there's an intermission. I think we went to AMC, and so there was a 15-minute intermission in between the movie where you can get up, go get popcorn, go use the bathroom because this movie was so long. Uh, so it was really cool. And like, since we went, the tickets were a little extra because we went like, it was like almost an early premiere too. But you got like this booklet and stuff. So it was really cool to go. Really cool experience. I really liked the movie a lot. But my counter argument here is how rewatchable is it really?
So
Because
that's where I wanted to go with this. I've
ahead.
seen this movie twice. The
Yeah.
first time I do think it has some rewatchability, and here's why. Because the first time I watched this movie, I didn't like it that much, and the second time I watched it through, like 2 years later, I liked it a bit more. I don't know if it was because the first time I watched it, I wasn't that locked in. Maybe I wasn't paying attention that much. Would I watch it again though after seeing it twice? Probably not, because I think I saw it shortly after it came out, and then I might have watched it like 4 years ago. It was during the pandemic, so that was when I actually rewatched it. Because I went on a little binge through the movies. I don't think it has a ton of rewatchability, and like I said, the first time I watched it, I didn't really like it. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't have a strong opinion or love for it, so I'd be okay putting this in B tier. I don't know what you think.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so just to kind of reiterate too, it's like it almost has that like Glass Onion type feel where it's like once you see it once, you know who's bad and who's not.
Yeah.
Like a mystery, right? And so
Yes.
I would argue it's worth watching for the second time, and clearly you liked it more the second time
I did.
because you watch it in a different way, right? But then after that, it's not that rewatchable.
Exactly.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's a long ass movie.
It's a long ass movie. I think
know?
that's why the first time I watched it, I think I wasn't fully paying attention, to be completely honest, because when I rewatched it the second time, I remembered bits of it. I was like, "Oh yeah, I remembered how it ended." But I was like, "Oh, picking it up the second time, I was like, I don't remember that, and I don't remember that." Would I watch it a third time? Probably not.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. Django gives me Red Dead 1 vibes, but
Oh,
Hateful
without a
Eight gives me
doubt.
Red Dead 2 vibes because of the snow and everything. So I want to say that
Okay.
too. But yeah, I think B, I can agree with you on that. I would also put it in B. So we're going to put it in the B category. So we got Django at A, Hateful Eight at B, and then Death Proof at C right now. So Inglorious Bastards. So this is another one. Do we waste this? Do we waste an S spot? Now this, I've argued this a lot with people. I think, and I can't even decide in my head now because I argue sometimes with people if Django or Inglorious is better, and I don't know where you lie on that because I feel like my mood changes all the time. because they are different movies, but the
They're
acting in both are amazing. The story's amazing in both. I think I like Django a little bit more.
I think I like Inglorious a little bit more.
Right.
Personally.
And so when you argue it, it's like, and both people make good points, and then you're like, well, maybe you're right, or maybe you're right. So I don't know, because a few years ago I would have said Glorious is my favorite, but then now I'm on Django,
I
so I
watched
don't know.
Inglorious the first time in I think it was 2019.
Oh, really? Okay.
First time ever.
Yeah.
And I just remember. Here's what's crazy. I watched it on I think it was a VHS. I'm not even kidding. I don't think it was a DVD. I want to say it was a VHS, in like an Airbnb. I think I could be wrong. No, it was on a TV that still had a VHS player, but it was a DVD that we put in. That's what I remember. I remember I had to take I had to take a VHS tape out to put the DVD in, even though they're next to each other and they shouldn't. I remember having like trying to watch this movie and having trouble. I'm like, why the won't this work? I had to take out whatever the VHS that was in there. Once I put the DVD into the DVD player, then it played. And I remember being glued. I was in a beanbag, glued to the beanbag, and watched the movie all the way through and was like, wow, how have I not seen that until now?
Yeah.
And I think I like it a little bit more than Django.
Okay.
Just a little.
So do you want to put it in S?
No, I want to put it above Django and A.
Okay. All right. Okay, so then I think we'll have the same S's here.
might.
I thought this could be more of a. Here, we'll do that for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so next we got Jackie Brown. Now this one's one of his older ones. I think it's his second, because I think Reservoir Dogs was first. No.
So, do you like this one? Just out of curiosity.
Jackie Brown is the third. So I do, because it reminds me a lot of Pulp Fiction. I like the characters a lot in Jackie Brown. Makes me laugh quite a bit. But I think I would personally have it around the B range.
I don't think it
touches like Django or Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah, it's not bad by any means at all, and I'm sure someone can critique us, but I just didn't have the same love that I did the first time I watched it.
Yeah. And I remember too that that one was one of the later ones I watched. So I think I watched that like maybe at the end of high school. So probably like, dating myself here, probably like 6 years ago I watched it for the first time. I've seen it a few times since, but like that one I was later too. Whereas like Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs I watched when I was younger, and so
I didn't watch that till probably 2018 or 2019.
Okay,
as well.
Okay, so the same boat there. So now, do we put it above Hateful Eight or below it in B? What do you think?
I would put it below it.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay.
Still in B though. Still in B.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Kill Bill Volume 1, and then we can also do Volume 2.
Okay.
Now, I think I like Kill Bill Volume 2 a little bit more. She's got the jumpsuit. I like the fights a little bit more. I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't know where people really fall on that. Some people still consider it both just one whole movie, which is fine. But
I think I would say Volume 2 over 1, but like
2 has an actual ending.
Yeah, but you could talk. Yeah, okay. If you take it like that, if you kind of combined them, you could take it a lot of different ways. I think it's like a coin flip.
Okay.
But 2, does end the story, which makes me happy. Versus how 1 kind of just leaves you.
So you think they're close enough to maybe deserve the same tier? Or do we do like 1 in A, 1 in B? Do we get crazy with it? Because I'd be cool with that.
So you'd put 2 in A and 1 in B?
Yeah. And I'd put 1 at the beginning of B. Like it's almost A.
I'd be okay with that, because that also gets us at 3 in both of those columns, which makes me happy.
Right. Like, what do you think of that? So, like, I still think Inglourious and Django are slightly better than Kill Bill.
Better than Kill Bill. Agreed.
Yeah. but they're
But
in the same category because it's so close.
I think that's fair.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so we got 3 movies left. Let's mix it up. Let's do Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
All right. I mean,
So, like I said, I think that's probably the one that I've watched the most,
yeah.
and I just ordered the Blu-ray.
All right. So see,
I hope I hope that kind of speaks volumes as to why it should be in D tier. Bring it back. I gotta go S. One of my favorites. One of like my favorite like just movies in general. I just like it. I think I can give Nick Pell actually credit for putting me on that movie.
it's his favorite, one of his favorite movies of all time.
Way back in the day, he made me a list of movies that I needed to watch because I asked him to, and I believe this was on the list. So I'll give him credit where credit's due because he put me on that movie, and I watched that probably back in 2015 or 2016. And since then, I've watched it more than once. So I would go S tier. Another reason that I like it is it his shortest movie or one of his shortest movies? It's like an hour 40.
I think so.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're cutting out a little bit there. We can edit that. Are you good now? I couldn't hear you. You like froze on my end.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead with your question again, though.
29-minute mark, so I know that. One sec. Why does this pen not work? 29-minute mark. Okay. Oh, is this one of his shortest movies? I believe. Or
I believe it is. I think it is. Shortest? Maybe Death Proof might be too.
Okay, I haven't seen
it. It is, but like that one had like the smallest budget too. You know, I mean, we talked about it when we on our review for it, our rewind. I think it was like $1 million, like to make the whole
crazy.
thing.
That's awesome.
It's in one setting for a while, and you don't know characters' names. You know, like it's great. It's also somewhat of a mystery as well.
I remember the first time I watched that annoyed the shit out of me that I couldn't figure out people's names.
Orange, Pink.
Yeah, I remember, and I was like, why did Nick tell me to watch this? But I'm happy that I did because
I think too, it's one of the few that get better every time you watch it.
Yeah,
truly. So, yeah, I think we have a VHS of it somewhere, actually, which is pretty fun. But yeah, so we're gonna put an S. I'm glad we were both in agreement there, and then we have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Interesting.
I did actually like this movie.
Okay.
When it came out. I don't know where you stand, but I did like this. It was cool to see both those guys in it together.
Yeah. Two of probably the best actors of that generation.
Agreed. Yeah.
You know.
I remember it was a bit long.
Yeah.
I have not rewatched it since we saw it in theaters, so I've actually
I have the Blu-ray somewhere.
I've attempted to rewatch it, and I started a rewatch on like a plane.
Yeah. Nice. You also got Margot Robbie in it.
Yeah. But
so here's the thing. I like it more than like Hateful Eight and Jackie Brown a little bit. So I'm cool with A if you are. But that's, you know.
A behind Kill Bill?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I think so. Let's just see how it looks.
Okay, yeah, just put it on there.
Yeah, I think Kill Bill Volume 2. So that's interesting. So we have Kill Bill Volume 2, then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, then Kill Bill Volume 1. Very telling.
You could probably throw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in B and move Kill Bill up to A.
Could. We could do that. We'll circle back at the end.
Okay.
See how we feel about it.
All right. Last movie.
All right. Last movie, Pulp Fiction. This one is my favorite.
Second favorite. This actually,
yeah, and so
I like
this. Yeah, so this one I watched when I was really young because this is my dad's like favorite movie of all time. He's probably seen it like 200 times.
Okay.
You know, there's cuts of it too out there where it's the movie in like chronological order. That's not a fun way to
Oh,
watch it though. I have tried
that
watching it that way.
sounds kind of stupid, actually.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I'll try it, but yeah, like me and him will make quotes at each other about it all the time. It's a great movie, amazing movie, and like I don't know, I love the feel of it, the time they're in, and just all the characters are. I don't
It's
know
got
it.
such a feel. Like,
Yeah,
I don't even know how you describe it. It's got an aura to it, that movie. I actually own a Pulp Fiction T-shirt that I've got many compliments on from
mm-hmm.
mostly middle-aged men, probably about your
Yeah,
dad's age.
yeah,
um,
and from my memory, I don't think it really did that well box office wise, and then just took off once it was like available for everyone to just buy, and so I think there's another one too we have on VHS. I remember him telling me like the VHS was getting fucked up because how many times he'd watch it. He'd watch it all the time. So
that's awesome.
yeah. So this is definitely the movie he's probably seen the most, I assume, hopefully, for his sake. But yeah. Can't say I've watched as many times as him, but I've
I've seen.
this is probably the one I've seen the most out of any of his movies. Just
I
rewatching over
remember
and
the
over again.
first time I watched it was on TV.
Okay.
Because I watched commercials, like it
Yeah.
was on like some movie network or something. I didn't get to watch it without commercials. The first time I viewed it. Since then, I've probably seen it like 4 or 5 times. Great movie. Right up there with Reservoir Dogs. I think I liked just barely Reservoir Dogs a little bit more for me because I
Mhm.
went into it such like so despicable and just like this is gonna be so stupid. Why does Nick think I should watch this stupid movie? Oh, where Pulp Fiction, like I knew, well, I had seen it before he had recommended movies to me, um, but I had heard that it was good, so I went
Yeah.
into it with some expectations of it being a
Right.
good movie,
Yeah.
and it delivered. I think sometimes when you go into things with low expectations or no expectations, and it's really good, that can be more fun versus if you know something's good and it's still over delivered. I'm not saying that. Like I went into it and heard this was going to be a good movie and loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
I'd
many
put it.
storylines.
Yeah, I'd put it
It's
right up
great.
there in S tier where it belongs.
Yes, and so do we?
If you
Oh,
want to, if
fucking
whoa.
things up. All right, so do we mess with S tier a little bit? Do we put Pulp Fiction in front of
If
Reservoir
you want to
Dogs?
put Pulp Fiction in front of Reservoir Dogs, I think it's probably uh, broadly his best film. I would say, if you asked a
All
lot
right.
of
I
people,
mean, that looks good.
I would say it's probably his most well-known film. I
Yeah,
think. Maybe I'm
yeah.
wrong. I think it
And
is though.
these four right here, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and Glorious Bastards, Django. I've argued against all three of these movies with Pulp Fiction plenty of times because there's people out there that think Django's the best or Inglorious Bastards or like I know Aiden loves Kill Bill, right? So he'd probably make an
Yeah,
argument that Kill Bill
Aiden does love
Volume 2
Kill
should be an
Bill.
S tier, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I've argued it all. I'm like, no, I think it's Pulp Fiction, and then I think Reservoir Dogs is a close second, in my opinion. And so
Yeah.
so that's I've argued that a ton of times, but I think those four,
Are
especially,
people
like, are
are
really
people
interchangeable.
making arguments for Hateful Eight being his best?
I haven't heard that.
Okay,
I've
just
not heard
curious.
that.
Just
Um,
curious.
I'm
Just
sure there's
curious if
people out there that exist that think that.
please comment. I want to know why. Not that I dislike that movie, but I just want the enlighten me. Humble
Right.
my ass. Please.
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah,
be
because I'm
humbled.
sure this list will piss. I mean, it might piss off Nick Pell. Reservoir Dogs #1 for him, but I know he likes Pulp Fiction a lot too, so maybe he's cool with it. And I'm sure it'll
I'm gonna
piss
send
off
him a
some
picture.
other people. Yeah, yeah. And so I don't know. I think I like the way this list looks though. I think like Hollywood, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like right in the middle of this Kill Bills. I think that like works for me. Um, I don't know. Is there anything else you'd want to change before we lock this in? Before we post this on YouTube and
And
on
get
Apple and
criticized
Spotify,
and
download it, please. Yeah,
like
before we
it on
post this,
YouTube.
Before this is locked in, what do you think?
I say lock this motherfucker in and
There
let
we
the
go.
critic and let the critics reign.
Okay.
I would honestly I would love like someone to be like, no, you morons, like Jackie
Death
Brown is
proof.
his death proof. Andrew's never seen it. How can he say it's in C tier? Well, never seen it. Maybe it's in S tier.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I that one's on me. I'll
Yeah,
take the blame for that one. But
Josh will take the blame on death proof.
yeah, I think this though it might be our most like tame tier list we've done. We're pretty much in agreement for everything.
We don't have a lot to disagree on. If you want one where we disagree,
Pixar.
no, you and I got along. Well, that was our first
You
ever
shit on
episode.
Ratatouille. And...
I did. If you want one where we yell and we disagree, go to the snack tier list.
Oh yeah,
movie snacks. We had
I
all
almost
five
broke
of
up the pod.
yeah we had all five of us on to talk about movie snacks, and I think it got down to chicken tenders and hot dogs, which shouldn't even be at the goddamn movie theater.
They
But
have
hey,
French toast and shit there now too. I've been seeing some wacky stuff, so
so
we're
it's
gonna have
kind
to
of
update it.
we will. And what's crazy is the last time I was there with Emma, I genuinely thought about getting French toast. Like
It looks good.
I saw that there, and I was like, some warm French toast and syrup, kind of messy, not ideal in the dark, but that sounds really good. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah, they have everything there now.
yeah, no, I feel good about this.
All right. Well, yeah, that was our Tarantino movie tier list. We are gonna do Blink Twice probably next week. It's still getting pretty decent reviews. I still want to go see it. So I think that's the plan as of right now. And then Beetlejuice 2 comes out, so we got a couple
We got a
new
couple
things
of
coming.
things. Check out our if you're listening on Apple or Spotify or whatever, and you're here this far in, go on YouTube and check out some of our shorts. We've started doing just Josh and I for people that don't want to sit through a 40-minute podcast, which is fair. I mean, sometimes we don't even want to talk for 40 minutes. We usually can though. Check out, they're like 50 to 60-second reviews. We just go through buy stream pass is what we're calling it. And we give someone just kind of our real quick thoughts on movies that are coming out. Should you buy it, which means, watch it multiple times.
Get on Blu-ray.
Yeah. Stream it. Stream is kind of vague for us. Stream means go to the movies.
Catch it on Netflix whenever it's there.
Or go to the movies and see it once. I think we should stream also means kind of a one-time viewing. You probably wouldn't watch it. And then pass obviously means, hey, we saw it and you don't need to. It wasn't good.
Right. Borderlands.
So yeah, Borderlands.
Yeah. No, but that was our Tarantino movie tier list. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys next time.
See you.